Hello traders, welcome to another exciting video on Trading Kernel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Waka Waka Expo Advisor, and it's going to be a super comprehensive video because we're going to be talking about how to download, install, backtest, and trade live with the Waka Waka Expo Advisor. So I'm going to be attaching this link in the description below. For those of you who are new, you can also head over to tradingkernel.com and search for the Waka Waka Expo Advisor. It's going to bring you up to this page here, and let's look at some of the information of the Waka Waka Expo Advisor. So the Waka Waka Expo Advisor was recently updated to the version 3.55, and this version doesn't actually need a DLL file. It's currently available, and it's available for the platform MetaTrader 4. It trades obviously on currencies such as ALDI CAD, ALDI NZD, and NZD CAD. Okay, so it trades on the 15-minute time frame, and it also trades on auto section. You can customize that in the Expo Advisor input settings. It also trades on ECN accounts only, so don't trade this on standard accounts. Okay, so strategy is grid and hedging, and backtesting is also enabled. So this means that you can actually backtest the Expo Advisor. So also has a panel, and you can see the amount recommended for some of the pairs here. Okay, this is what we traded with, and if you want to also trade, this is the minimum amount you can trade with to ensure the best settings for the Expo Advisor. Head down over here, and you're logged in, and you're also subscribed to either our silver membership and our gold membership. You can actually see this button here where you can download this Expo Advisor for free. Okay, to access our memberships, just click on memberships here, and once it loads up, you can see some of the memberships we have here. To download this, to be able to see this button here, you need to be subscribed to either our silver membership or our gold membership. Okay, to be able to see these buttons here to download the Expo Advisor. You can see this is the most recent version, and you can see this was the previous version here. So once you just click on this button here right now, it's going to show that you have downloaded this Expo Advisor. Okay, so just head over down here and look at some of the settings here as well. So you can see a definition of the Waka Waka EA. You can also see the supported currency pairs, and you can see a list of the allowed URLs. All right, so let's head over to the installation. We're going to be installing this on Think Markets demo accounts here with the 10,000 USD balance. Okay, so let's proceed to the installation. The first thing we need to do is to head over to our Chrome, where we download the Expo Advisor. Right click on the downloads, click on show in folder. We're going to copy this folder here. We're going to head over to our desktop here, and then we're going to right click on paste, create a new folder here. Just copy the Waka Waka into that folder here. So we can open the folder, right click on extract here. Okay, so once we've done that here, we can delete this previous folder here. Okay, yes to all. And then once we open up this folder here, you can see we have the Waka Waka Expo Advisor. So I'm just going to right click on that, click on copy, head over to my MetaTrader terminal here, and click on file, click on open data folder. And then I'm going to open up the MKL4 file, open the Expo Advisors file, and then right click and click on paste. Okay, obviously this is a MetaTrader 4, not the MetaTrader 5. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel out of there. And then I'm going to open up my navigators, right click on refresh. And then you can see the Waka Waka Expo Advisor. Okay, you can see the Waka Waka Expo Advisor here. All right, so just going to close up on this, and the next thing we need to do is to head over to tools, head over to options, and then we can head over to the website and copy out the list of the allowed URLs. Okay, so right click on copy, and then head over to your new browser here and remove the space. We did the spacing here because we don't want this to be attached to be seen as a link. Okay, so you just head over back to your MetaTrader terminal, and you paste all of those links here. Okay, so once you have that done, you need to ensure that you have allow automated trading checkbox turned on. You also need to allow the allow imports and also allow the web request, obviously. So once you've done that, you can just, to add that URL, just right click here, click on here, and then click on enter. Okay, so I already have all of these URLs here, so I don't need to enter this anymore. Okay, so the next thing we need to do here is to head over to our view, and then open up our market watch, and then open up the ALDI CAD, and then open this on the 15-minute time frame. Now remember, this trades on the 15-minute time frame on the ALDI CAD, and the other pairs listed on the website. Okay, so let's just open up the navigator. We'll double tap on the Waka Waka Expo Advisor, and you can see we have it up currently. Okay, first thing you need to do here is to click on common, and then ensure you have this live trading turned on. Also ensure you have allowed the allow import here, and also allow import of external experts. Okay, so next thing you have to do is to click on the input section, and then you can see a list of the inputs. All right, so the first thing you can see here is the risk settings. Okay, so check for instance of the EA set to true. These are the default customized settings that came with the Expo Advisor. All right, so for this lot sizing method here, you can change this to a fixed lot size and enter the lot size that you want for the account. All right, you also have the dynamic lot size based on balance and based on equity. You also have some form of other, risk management or lot sizing. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be using the fixed lot size. Okay, and then for the fixed loss here, you can see it's currently set to 0.01. Okay, you can also see some of the other lot size settings for the other values. Okay, so going down here, you can see the maximum spread in pips and also the maximum slippage here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cancel out this Expo Advisor. I'm going to cancel out this Market Watch. I'm going to open up our Market Watch here. Okay, then I'm going to click on the Expo Navigator and then double tap on the Expo Advisor again. So we can just load that up again. Okay, so we're going to change this once again back to fixed lots, and then let's look at the maximum spread in pips. Okay, the default value for the maximum spread says 10. Okay, now if you look at the spread here on the symbol here, it says 17. Okay, that means the value here is actually higher than the value here. Okay, you can see the value is constantly changing from 18 to 19 to 17. Okay, so what we're going to do here is to look at the average value, okay, and add some number to that value, okay, so that if the market is actually very volatile, we can also place trades as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to change this value here to 20, okay, and change the maximum slippage also to 20 as well. Okay, so whenever you see as your spread here, you can just add 1 to the maximum number you have seen in a couple of minutes and then proceed to trade with that. Okay, so you can see it said 19, 18. To have this here, just right click on this symbol here. I have this pop-up here, so it's not going to come up. Just right click here and check on the spread box here, so it's going to come up here. Okay, so we have that here, and they said maximum symbols at the time is currently set to 2. This means we are going to open 2 trades, a maximum of 2 trades for 2 symbols per time. Okay, we can't have 3 trades per time for different symbols. So that means we can have a trade on Audi CAD, Audi NZD, and the other pair. Okay, it means that we at a particular time we can just have 2 trades open that are from different symbols. Okay, so the next one here is the 1 symbol if it reaches a grid level here. Okay, so that's currently set to 0, and then it says disable trades on the same side of the currency set to false. Allow hedging is set to true. I'm sure you all know what hedging is. And then allow trading on holidays as well set to false. Okay, so you can also trade on holidays. And this here is also an important input settings that says buy and sell. So if you just want buy trades, if you feel that the price would continue going up when you're trading pairs like the NDX or the BTC USD, that you have a feeling that they're always going to go up. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that if you're trading pairs such as the NASDAQ or the SPX 500 and you have a bias that these pairs will always go up in due time, you can set the trades to buy. Right there. If you also have the bias that, let's say, pairs like Euro USD will keep going down, you can set this to sell only. Okay, and you can set minimal free margin here and the maximum floating drawdown. Okay, so this is for basically FTM or MFF or funded or prop firm accounts, right? So you can set maximum drawdown per trade. I'm going to show you how this works on the back test in a minute. Okay, so down here you can also see where we have the maximum hours for trading. We need to start trading, and also if you can trade on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So you currently have this here, and going down here we also have the take profits in pips for the settings. Okay, so you see here where it says take profit settings here. So this is currently set to 10, which is the 10. You can also optimize this value. You can also optimize such values such as the Bollinger Bands period, the RSI period, and the minimum RSI value. Okay, so you can set these values, you can optimize these values here and look for a value that's, works for you. Okay, So going down here, you can see some of the other settings as well. Just scroll down here. All right, so you can see we also have the news filter here, which is currently set to true, and you can also select some of the news. So disable trading on bank holiday set to false, disable built-in news filter settings set to false, custom events here, you can add them here. Okay, so you can also select here medium impact news false, low impact news false, speaks false, wait minutes before the events, and values like that. Okay, so you can also set the comment. You can also add some of the values here. Okay, so you can also, one more thing you can also do here is to also add custom buy and sell button here. Okay, manual sell and buy buttons here. You can see here where it says allow manual trade buttons. Let me just click on this here, click on OK, and allow this Expert Advisor to load. Okay, you're going to cancel out of here, you cancel out of here too. Okay, so you can see that the Expert Advisor has currently run up. You can see our expected lot size is still loading, and the GMT offset is still loading as well. The news filter is also loading. I'm just going to give it a moment here, and once it loads up, all the values are going to come in. All right, so you can see they've currently loaded up here. And it says our news filter is disabled. Let's just give it a moment to load up completely. All right, so you can see that's currently loaded up, and it says no news events coming up, which means there's no news for today. Okay, so you can see that again lot size says 0.01. But let's just quickly confirm this, guys. Let's head over to our Chrome browser here and head over to Forex Factory. Okay, so forexfactory.com here, and you can see we don't really have any news coming up today. Okay, so let's just right click on this here and click on the Expert Advisor and click on the properties. Okay, so you can see we don't have any manual trading buttons here because we set that to false. Okay, so we set that to true here, and we click on OK, and we allow everything to reload again. You can also, we have the manual trading buttons here, buy and also sell as well. Okay, all right guys, let's head over to the back testing. I'm just going to cancel out of here, and let's head over to the back testing to actually see how we can backtest the system and how to use the system as well. Okay, so backtesting can be done via the strategy tester. If you don't know where the strategy tester is this small icon here that has a search button here. If you hover across it, you can see it's called the strategy tester as well. So you can see we currently have the Waka Waka Expert Advisor here. If you don't have this on your Expert Advisors here, you can just click on this arrow icon here and select the Waka Waka Expert Advisor. You can see the symbol here says AUDCAD, and the period here is the 15 minutes time frame. That's what it means, 15 minutes time frame. And you can see here we are currently setting this spread as current. If you're on the weekend, you need to take note of the spread and use that spread here. All right, so let's see the current spread right now on average for the AUDCAD is currently 17, right? You can change that spread to 30 or 10 depending on how sure you are on the weekends, because during the weekend usually the spread is very high value, which is unrealistic. Okay, so if you're on the weekend, make sure to change this from current to one of these numbers here depending on the value that you noted when the market was open. Okay, so we're going to test this from 2023 also the 9th of 18th 2023 as well. But before that, let's look at some of the values in the Expert Advisor. Okay, now the first thing I want to talk about here is the fixed lot size. Like I said, this is a great system. You use a great technology to trade. So you're going to be trading with this system. You need to understand that your entire capital is at risk. You can also customize what percentage of your entire capital you want to risk per time. Okay, now one of the ways you can do this here is by using the floating drawdown in percentage. You can see here it says max floating drawdown percentage. We also have other values such as the max floating drawdown in morning, which means you can actually enter the amount you want to risk. We also have here the max daily drawdown limit. So if you're trading on, like I said earlier, a Profem account, you can set this limit. we are going to be setting these limits now. We're going to show you guys how this works. Okay, so we have the max daily drawdown for resets. We set that at 0 because that's the initial time at which the maximum the daily drawdown limit resets. Okay, so we're going to set this here, the maximum floating drawdown. We're going to set this to 9%. We don't want to set it to 10% because at 10% there could be a slippage and then we could exceed our maximum drawdown. So we're going to set this to 9%. And then we are also going to set this daily drawdown limit here to, let's say 4%, okay, or 4.5%, okay? Right, so we can actually set these two and we are going to be fine. Or we can set these two here and we are going to be fine as well, okay? So let's just click on this and click on, let's use a lot size of, a fixed lot size of, let's say 0.1, okay? And then let's just run this without the visual mode here, okay? So let me show you guys how this works, okay? So if you're looking at the graph here, this is actually on, so we're going to click on stop, and let's actually run this on $10,000 account. All right, so we click on start here. So this is the graph input section where the results are showing. Okay, so you can see our Expo Advisor is trading. You can see the results here. You can see some of the results. So every time we're making a profit, we are making a profit ranging from of about 7.49 USD. Okay, and whenever you see something like this, it's usually due to the fact that we entered the trade ran up in a loss, and then we entered another trade here, which hedged the position. Okay. So you can see we had multiple trades here. If you head over to our graph section there, you can see here, let me just pause this here, okay? You can see on this section here that at this point right now, okay, we exceeded our maximum daily drawdown. And what happened was that the Expo Advisor actually closed all trades and waited for the next day to begin opening trades, okay? So you can see that continued here all the way to this section here. You can see also here our maximum daily drawdown was also exceeded, so it closed all positions here. All right, so that's how this Expo Advisor actually works. Okay, so let me just show you guys something here right now. So if I click on stop here, okay, if I click on stop here and I remove those maximum drawdowns here, so if I change these values to 0 here and I change these values to 0 here and I click on OK, you can see we note the drawdowns. It was on, okay, so it was on the 2nd, it was on the 7th of the 2nd, and this one was also on the 6th, okay? So that's in February and in June. Okay, so let's restart this again. Now we've removed the maximum daily drawdowns and the maximum floating drawdown as well. So if you look at this here, you can see during that section here, the maximum the equity came down and we opened more trades and we hedged our position, right? So that means, as you can see here, the maximum daily drawdown wasn't exceeded. Okay, so that's how this Expo Advisor actually works. Without having those maximum drawdowns, the Expo Advisor isn't going to close trades. It's going to keep on opening multiple positions in the direction that you're currently trading. Okay, so you have to actually backtest Expo Advisor to find the best suitable version for you. Now, whatever I'm backtesting here might not be the same for your broker. So you have to actually backtest and ensure that you're using the same results that matches your broker's data. Okay, so let's head over back to the settings here and let's look at some other things we can do. Okay, so another thing we can do here is to increase the lot size. Okay, and we can also increase our take profit value here. Okay, so let's just look at our take profit value here. So our take profit value here, let me just find that value here. Okay, so you can see our take profit value here is currently set to 10, right? But we can increase that value to 30. Okay, let's just click on OK. If you look at our current results here right now, I'm making 7.49 USD on every trade. Okay, you can see our hedging positions here. So loss, 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 and then profit. So this profit covered up for all of the losses, and then the position closed. Okay. So for every time we're making a profit, you're making a profit of $7.49. But now that we've increased our take profits from 10 pips to 30 pips, let's see how that goes. Okay, so let's people start here and allow this to run again. All right, so if I just click on stop right now and I head over to the results here, you can now see that, let's just take this here. You can see that every time we now make a profit, we now make a profit of $22.32 rather than 7.49. Okay, so you can see the value has actually been increased, and that has also increased our profitability as well. Okay, so I want to play around with this system, backtest the system, and then understand how to actually trade with this system. You can see our profitability has now increased, and that's exactly how the Waka Waka Expo Advisor works. A very simple system. And one of the things you have to understand is your risk, right? How much are you risking per trade? Now, this is a grid system. You can either set how much you risk per trade, which is sometimes risky, because if you're trading the grid system, you need to understand that your risk is your entire capital. So at every time, you should understand that your risk is your capital, right? Which means the entire amount you put in your account. Okay, so we're looking at the settings here, or looking at this result here rather. One thing I could advise you to do is that using the system, every time you make a profit of something like this, you make an instant withdrawal. Okay, when you make a profit like this, you make an instant withdrawal. Okay, so you keep withdrawing your profits here, all right, and allowing your lot size to remain the same. Don't over risk, don't over leverage. Use constant lot size and allow and withdraw your profits. Okay, so every time you make a profit, you withdraw it in hoping that you can cover for the capital, because the capital is at risk. All right. So let me know if you have any questions in regards to the back testing of the system. I'm more than happy to assist you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.